Okay, so it seems like recently there's been a little bit of backlash at OshiUplink. Now, if you don't know, OshiUplink tends to be a pretty big convention over in Canada, where it's a VTuber convention, right? Really great. And of course, a lot of people go and attend it. But a lot of people have been very concerned after the appearance of one cosplayer who was in a little bit of heat a while ago for some stuff to do with Face Connect and some other stuff too. And that, of course, was a Gumbun, who, ended up going against Jelly during the whole Jelly Hoshiumi situation. But also the one that I'm more concerned about, which was the biggest one for me, especially considering that she's attending another convention, which was, of course, harassing some random person at a convention she was at. I think it was MagFest, I think this was called. And this was the post that was originally out. We talked about this in a video a while back. But essentially, yeah, she took a picture of this random person at this convention saying, seeing a guy with a dev, obviously they mean Rev, happy at MagFest was like seeing 15 911s. And obviously they put, the picture of them down below. So they've been following this person through the convention just because they are wearing Rev merch, which I think is absolutely ridiculous. And of course, you can have your own feelings and thoughts about Rev and, whatever. But the one thing that you do not do is you don't follow someone around a convention just because they are wearing certain merch of someone that you dislike, right? And it's honestly crazy behavior. It seems like this person was following them, taking a picture of them without their consent and, just kind of, in a sense, creep-shotting them, right? And of course, a lot of people have been unhappy. And then people were also unhappy at the kind of, the comparison that they made, saying it was like seeing 15 911s, which I think is absolutely crazy because nothing can really be that bad. Let's be honest, right? Seeing a piece of merch at a convention isn't as bad as seeing 15 911s. So again, I think that's totally way out of proportion. Like, sure, as I said, if you don't like him or whatever, or if you don't like, people seeing people wear his merch, whatever, you go, oh, okay, well, I don't like that, and then just kind of move on from it, right? You don't need to make this whole thing and follow them and take pictures of them, right? It's just so weird, and obviously a lot of people were not happy, right? And Rev actually responded saying, PC featured cosplayer, creep shots, convention staff for wearing merch of someone they don't like, posted in the official PC Face Connect Discord server for the sole purposes of harassing him, compares it to 15 911s. Face Connect talent joins in on the needless attack. Interesting stuff, boys. Legal mindset saying cons usually have permission to photograph, which would genuinely immunize staff. But even recognizing that this type of behavior leads to stalking and harassment, I've seen multiple photos and angles of the same guy. If it's all the same photographer, it would bolster that angle. Which, obviously saying like it's not necessarily illegal the thing that they have done here, but it is very weird, right? And that happens in a lot of cases. There's a lot of things that aren't necessarily illegal for you to do, but it is at the same time extremely weird, and we will judge you for doing that, right? And again, saying these staff members should learn to shut up and allow customers to get the money in. Yeah, so of course, that all happened, right? And well, it seems like recently there's a post that's been trending at OshiUplink instead now, which has now been taken down, surprisingly. And obviously, this was one of the posts that blew up, saying, honestly, the fact that she even feels like the nerve to still act like she's the pillar of the face community is disgusting. And obviously, there's a picture of her within the kind of face kind of cosplayers, I think it was, with some other face cosplayers and whatever, saying the stuff she did taking advantage of the Jelly situation back at the start of the year opened the floodgates to reveal how much of a snake she is, from her taking creep shots of a random con goer because she didn't approve of him being a Rev fan, to the clip of her on Filian's stream where Kyosha raided, like, sure, cosplay who you want, but don't act like you're not just another ethot trying to profit off of some of the most loyal communities in the VTubing space. Obviously a lot of people not happy about that, saying there it is, that's the exact moment she saw Kyosha raided Filian lol, which is quite funny. The cosplaying as Kyosha's friend while hating her is also akin to skinwalking stuff. Says skinwalker infiltration is real. A lot of people have been kind of commenting on that. And again, there's been so many different people commenting on it, saying, told you this snake would silently come back like nothing ever happened. Watch your backs at OshiUplink if you have any problematic VTuber merch on you, so you don't get stalked and creep shotted by her. to get made fun of by her followers later, saying, ironic, or what did Gumbun do? Say, just search Gumbun on this timeline, and others like Grixit will scroll. So after scrolling a little bit, since quite some time has passed. And I'll see, yeah, people saying, lol, OshiUplink, sorry, deleted their post that had Gumbun in it. Would normally say maybe she can read the room after that, but she's going to sneak her way in again, or even try to grift off a filian despite not liking her whenever she comes back. So yeah, obviously a lot of people not happy about that. And of course as well, Trigger Point as well, the same person who made the original post, saying, be careful out there, OshiUplink. Don't want y'all getting creep-shotted by cosplayers who don't like the VTuber merch you wear. And obviously Lydia saying, I'm sorry, what? And obviously, yeah, it's referring to the whole situation of Gumbun taking the picture of this person. And I think that is the most concerning thing, right? Out of everything. I think that obviously, you know, the Jelly Hoshiumi stuff sucks, and her still, you know, trying to be like within the Face Connect kind of space and things after all of that kind of stuff does suck. But I do think the biggest kind of and most immediate problem to me is obviously her attending this convention when she has had a past of taking pictures of people without them knowing, and just kind of following them around and essentially harassing them, right? To a point where, you know, this was plastered all over the internet, which, again, this is just some person that is walking around with some merch of someone that they like, and that's all they're doing. They're minding their own business. They're not causing anybody issues. You can see they're just walking, and that's it, right? That's all there is. And I think that, you know, it is pretty horrible for someone who not only is a cosplayer, and, you know, attends these events as a cosplayer and should know the kind of, you know, what do you call it? The dangers and the kind of weirdness of, you know, why you should never do something like this. But, you know, there also have been, you know, staff at conventions and things like that as well. So you should especially know why this is weird, right? Because cosplayers at conventions get this all the time, right? They deal with creepy, you know, weirdos that try to take pictures of them from weird angles and stuff like that. Of course, you know, that happens all the time. And she should be one of the first people to know that that is not okay to do that, right? And that it's not okay to follow people around, that it's not okay to kind of harass them around a convention. Because what if someone was to do that to you, right? And I think that is 100% the case that some people are asking, right? You know, if someone did that to you, you'd be completely upset and outraged by this. But apparently it's okay because they're wearing the merch of someone that you don't like. And I think it is, yeah, just kind of insane, right? But yeah, I mean, that is essentially all there is for this kind of update. I'm assuming, you know, OshiUplink just deleted it because it was getting quite a lot of flack and a lot of hate, right? Kind of deservedly so, I guess, because of course, a lot of people were not happy to see that she was still attending these events, especially after being so publicly called out for, you know, this kind of stuff, right? And I think it is pretty horrible, you know, what happened to this person. And I hope that it just doesn't happen to anybody at OshiUplink, because there is a genuine chance that this could happen, right? There's a genuine, actual kind of fear that this could happen once again at an event like OshiUplink or any of the other ones that they choose to attend in the future. And of course, yeah, people are going to be keeping a close eye on what is going on, because it is just so horrible to see, right? But yeah, that's about it for this video. If you guys did enjoy it, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. Also, go to Game Subs, use my code Kaza, get 10% off. Again, they've got a ton of really cool stuff over there. Definitely recommend checking it out. And yeah, see you guys in the next one. That's all. See ya.